guys. My name is Stuti. Thank you so much for being here. This is a very special session that I am thrilled to moderate because, as you can see, I'm joined here by my friends, by fellow guild members, and I'm going to start by introducing them and talk about why we've all decided to come together and have this discussion. So, we have a chairperson of the Film Critics Guild, Anupama Chopra.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, guild member Ajay Brahmatmaj. Kaise hain aap sir? Rohit Vats is here. Hi, Rohit. Hemant Kumar and Sachin Chette. There he is. Sachin, we can see you, but we can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I've just done that.
Yes. Super. So, and also thank you everyone else who has joined. What we plan to do, of course, is have this discussion and take your questions. We'd love for you to ask your questions, what you think about this. And the topic for today is how the OTT era puts the viewers in the front. Now, before I start, what I want to ask everyone is, how's it going? We didn't really think 2020 was going to be like this, that we'll be stuck at our homes and meet like this.
Yeah, this is for us or this is for the audience?
This is for us, for you guys, for all of us.
No, so I think now I have forgotten what it used to be, like how I was supposed to go to office, what was the way to office and all that. I think I have forgotten everything. This is the life now.
I know.
I hear you, Rohit. I feel exactly the same. I feel like now, though I really miss theaters and I really miss watching a film in a theater, you know, when you're reviewing a film at home, it's just not the same thing. But if someone tells me now that, you know, drive 45 minutes to a PVR and then you'll see a film, it just feels so odd because it's literally now the home has become your entire world.
True that. And also, like, apart from films, I am also missing those huge samosas at Delight.
Are you sure, Rohit? Now I'm missing them more. I didn't like
I think in Goa we were chilling earlier and we are chilling now also. Earlier we were chilling outside, now we are chilling at home mostly.
You guys are in a green zone, but Hena Sachin? Goa is in the green zone.
No, not now.
No, not really. No, not really.
Goa is ocean zone.
You know, we didn't contribute for a long time, but now we are also in the race.
Okay. Now we are going to get to what we love talking about, and that's films and film criticism, film reviewing. Can't believe a couple of months back we were wishing each other Happy New Year, and then 2020 just happened. And there was this little phase when the film halls shut. But I don't know about you guys, but I was really wondering about what's in store for me as a film critic, whether films will release, what will happen. And then, of course, you had these OTT releases. How has life changed? Now, when first day, first show happens, when you have to tell everyone at home to not disturb you and you switch on your laptop and start watching the films, how's that experience? So, Ajay ji, aapse agar main shuru karu?
जी एक्सपीरियंस के लेवल पे तो थोड़ा फर्क आ ही गया है, जो गर्मजोशी लोगों से मिलने का, एक नई फिल्म देखने का, और जो उत्साह रहता था, थोड़ी बातें होती थी। फिल्म एक्टिविटीज भी बिल्कुल बंद है, तो कोई ऐसे इंफॉर्मेशन भी नहीं मिल रही है कहीं से कुछ। ऐसे में अभी मैंने सोचा, मेरे तो 2 सालों से रिटायरमेंट के बाद से ये एक्टिविटी शुरू हो गई थी, घर पे रहने की और ज्यादा काम के इधर देखने की। लेकिन इस बीच मैंने गौर किया और मैंने खुद से तय किया कि मुझे कुछ लोगों की फिल्में देख लेनी है। जैसे बिमल रॉय की मैंने फिल्में देखी, किशोर साहू की फिल्में देखी मैंने, केदार शर्मा की फिल्में देखी, ऐसी कुछ फिल्में सीरीज बना के, लिस्ट बनाकर उनको देखना शुरू किया। तो काफी अच्छा एक फील हुआ और समय बर्बाद होता नहीं दिखा। ऐसा लगा कि आप कुछ कर रहे हैं अपना। तो बहुत ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ा है मेरे लिए खास करके। हाँ, लेकिन एक्टिविटीज बंद है, थिएटर में जाना बंद है, तो वो फील जो होता था वो जरूर उसकी कमी महसूस होती है। या लोगों से मिलना, ऐसा हमारी बिल्डिंग में तो चूंकि हल्का सा ये रेड जोन में कभी कभी हो जाता है, तो बिल्डिंग हमारे फ्लैट से नीचे उतरना भी मना है। तो आप सोच सकते हो कैसे कैद होती होगी ये, हम सोच सकते हैं।
हम खुद एक ऐसी film script में है जो हमें पसंद नहीं आ रही. But Hemant and you know, why don't you answer this? How's the first day, first show for you now these days?
Actually, I have to be honest here, because there is so much wider choice about what sort of films or web series that you can watch. I think every day, I'm just speaking for myself, there's a major fear of missing out. I mean, every day somebody is going to ask you, have you seen this? What's your opinion on that? I'm like, dude, just please give me a break. I have to, cope up with the whole pandemic, and I'm still not ready to work as much. So I'm just taking it very slow. So I don't know. I mean, and now that we are reviewing an ocean of films out there, the volume of work is just overwhelming, and I don't know how everybody else is coping up with it. Like, okay, you can watch 3-4 films at a stretch. I mean, that's perfectly fine when you're attending a film festival or if you have a long weekend. But to do that for 2-3 months at a stretch, it's really exhausting. And I don't know if people are actually ready to accept that. Listen, everybody's overburdened with work. You're not on a holiday or a break as it seems to be.
Right, and that's what we're trying to figure out. How's everyone coping? So, Rohit, Sachin, Anupama, please.
No, so I sorry, I will go first. So also because earlier what used to happen that if a film is releasing on say Friday, so they would have a press show on Thursday, so you could watch the film and all that. But now there is this race that even if the film is releasing at 12 in the night, it's coming on OTT. You need to keep waking up till then and then watch the film and then write the review. So it kind of also has changed your own routine. And also that affects or rather like impacts your writing habits rather. So because you also need to keep all your senses in complete control even at 2 in the night. So that probably has made a slight difference in the way we look at films, I guess.
Okay. Anupama?
Oh, for me, I have had to prioritize because I really thought that, okay, this is the time. I found that streaming shows have been a real gap in my education. I've never found the time to really watch a lot of streaming. And so all through May, I watched Panchayat, I watched Patal Lok. I was very excited to be doing those reviews. But from June, all the films have started dropping. So I just decided that there's no way. It's humanly impossible to, kind of bring in to put in the focus and the attention that you need to. And you need to. It's not that you're at home and therefore this whole process has any less rigor. You can't be casual about passing your judgment on somebody's piece of art. Yeah. So I just said, okay, I'm made for the movies. I will be reviewing films as and when I can. I will go to the streaming show. So I couldn't review Arya. I couldn't do 9 hours of programming plus the movies that release. I just can't do it. It's physically impossible for me.
Yeah. We're going to come to that. That's actually a separate topic in itself. Sachin, how's life in Goa with staying indoors?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, I mean, it's pretty much okay. It's pretty fine. I was just going to continue from where others left. We all became film critics or film reviewers because we love cinema. We love watching movies in a theater. Now, because of the lockdown and the way films are coming up now, we've been pushed in a corner, to review this, review that. There's so much content, as everybody has been weighing in and saying that there's so much content coming out. Ki ye dekhe, wo dekhe, iska review kare. So it's become not so enjoyable anymore. It's not the same as going and watching a movie in a theater, watching it at home. As Rohit was saying, you wake up at 12 o'clock and watch. It's a tedious thing. It's not so much fun anymore as it used to be watching a film in a theater. But fingers crossed, hopefully things will change and we'll go back to the old-fashioned way of going and watching a movie in a theater with samosa and chai and everything else.
And all of us there in our fixed seats, at least in Delhi, we have our fixed seats.
That's another thing, because in Goa, we don't have any press shows. So in Goa, at least we are used to watching a film on Friday itself. And I don't mind watching 3 or 4 films between Friday and Saturday. उसका मजा कुछ और था. But to say कि OTT की फिल्म में 12 बजे देखो और 2-3 और जितनी आती हो देखो, it's just not the same.
That's true. So, I was just trying to figure out. So now the topic is how in the OTT era, the viewer is in the front. So we're talking about how the shows or the films get released directly, reach your laptop. And do you think, and I know this is, this is again one of those questions about when will the world end, but does the relevance of the film critic or the film reviewer, does it get undermined? Because, in a way, everyone can watch it. And by the time we we come out with our reviews, they also know exactly about how that show was or whether they liked it or not. Do you think somewhere down the line, it kind of becomes, our work becomes redundant? If I play devil's advocate?
मैं अगर शुरू करूं तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि हमारा रोल खत्म हुआ है अभी. हमारा रोल थोड़ा सा बदल गया है, हमारी भूमिका थोड़ी बदल गई है. मुझे लगता है कि अब फिल्मों के रिव्यू जिस तरीके से हम लोग करते थे उसके बजाय फिल्म देखते हुए हमें कुछ ऐसी बातें ऑडियंस को बतानी होगी जो जनरली वो मिस करता है. और अगर वो हमारी बात सुनता है, समझता है और फिर से फिल्म को देखता है, क्योंकि OTT पे उसको सुविधा मिली हुई है, वो दोबारा तिबारा फिल्म देख सकता है, जैसे हम भी दोबारा तिबारा देख सकते हैं किसी फिल्म को, और ज्यादा बेहतर तरीके से रिव्यू कर सकते हैं. अगर कोई डायलॉग मिस कर गया तो थिएटर में तो हम भूल जाते थे और याद नहीं रहता था. यहाँ हम फिर से उसको देख सकते हैं, कास्ट एंड क्रू फिर से चेक कर सकते हैं, सबके नाम सही सही लिख सकते हैं. हाँ, कुछ चीजें जो मुझे लग रही है जो मिसिंग होगी इसमें, वो ये होगा कि जो टेक्निकल पक्ष होता है ज्यादा फिल्मों का, तो साउंड से लेकर के कॉस्ट्यूम, लाइट, बाकी सारी चीजें, वो थोड़ा डिपेंड करता है कि आपके पास सिस्टम कौन सा है. लेकिन मैंने सुना कि बहुत सारे लोग प्रोजेक्टर और स्क्रीन लगा रहे हैं घर में, तो अब वो अगर बड़े स्क्रीन जैसा कुछ हो जाए फील और साउंड इफेक्ट भी वैसा होने लगे, तो वो उस सिनेमा वाले को सिनेमा की फीलिंग को दोहराया जा सकता है घर के अंदर. लेकिन फिर भी थोड़ा मुश्किल और चैलेंजिंग काम है और थोड़ी दिक्कत तो हुई है. हाँ, जो ऑडियंस वाली बात है और उसके लिए रिव्यू कितना मायने रखता है, मायने तभी रखेगा जब हम कुछ अच्छी और नई बात कहेंगे. पुराने तरीके से रिव्यू करेंगे तो नहीं देखने वाला है, क्योंकि उसके पैसे तो लग चुके हैं. अब वो हम उसका समय बचा सकते हैं, हम उसे चॉइस दे सकते हैं, पूरी लाइब्रेरी उसके सामने खुली हुई है, लेकिन हम बता सकते हैं कि तुम ये फिल्म देख सकते हो, ये तो नहीं कहेंगे कि छोड़ दो इसको, लेकिन अपनी चॉइस बताएंगे तो वो उससे तय कर सकता है कि आप किस तरीके की फिल्म देखें जो हमारे फॉलोअर्स हैं. बाकी ये स्तुति के अलग फॉलोअर्स हैं, अनुपमा के अलग फॉलोअर्स हैं, जो जिसको पसंद करता है वो उसके हिसाब से चलना पसंद करता है. जी.
Who would like to go next? Rohit? Yeah.
So I just want to add to what Ajay ji just said, that see, this is also about, it's not just change in the viewing pattern, it is also a behavioral thing, which means that most of the people are also watching films as like while doing work from home. Earlier, it used to be an occasion. So like you would go to cinema hall and you will completely dedicate like 3 hours to a film. You are not doing that anymore, which means every day. So I was just reading about this data that average viewership time has gone up to 50 minutes to 1 hour from 20 minutes per day. So which means like if you are watching something for only 1 hour, so here the role of a critic gets even more important, because like now you have to customize your content according to your viewers, which means so viewer is looking at watching a film as part of his daily routine rather than doing something special, which means he or she has only 20 to 30 minutes or 50 minutes. So you need to customize your content, customize your review as per their need. So basically from this is, I guess in my opinion, this is a time where from a reviewer, the critics need to change into somebody who can give recommendations to fit into that time zone. So that is one thing I wanted to add to what Ajay said.
Okay. Recommendations, Anupama does. We've been getting film recommendations from her. So do you think that the role of a critic has changed?
You know, Stuti, I have to tell you, so this whole thing of recommending movies on Instagram started because one of my colleagues, Mohini Chaudhary, said that, listen, why don't you, this was when the lockdown was first announced. So we started in March. And, you know, I don't think any of us anticipated that it was going to be as long as it was. And she said that, well, it'll probably go on for a month or so. So why don't we just start doing recommendations every day? And so I started it, and it was really interesting, the kind of response and the kind of, you know, people really kind of started to look forward to it. They all talked to me, but why aren't you recommending Bengali films? Only because I haven't seen enough Bengali films, you know, and it became like this great conversation. I stopped at 75. I figured, okay, we're going to be here for the next 6 months, maybe. How many films am I going to recommend? You know, but it's been very interesting for me to see the kind of love people showered on that. It was like a 2-minute, it was very low investment. Listen to me for a minute and a half and I'll tell you about a movie. So I think, in fact, what Rohit is saying is right, that the role of the reviewer has become even more important because there's too much out there.
Yes.
So we will help you to curate, and we will, if you trust us, you know, everybody will find the voice that they trust, the voice that's closest to them in their taste, and they'll say ki, okay, you tell me, yaar, mere paas 1 ghanta hai, main kya dekhu? You know, so I think, in fact, because there's too many options. I mean, we can barely keep track of it, and we do this for a living.
Yeah.
And also the word spreads very fast these days, you know. I mean, a lot of people may or may not wait for a critic's opinion about XYZ series or a show. The word is already out there. I mean, before people could really appreciate. Of course, it always helps to give kind of like a pointer. Okay, ye acha hai, kitna acha hai. But you know, in the larger scheme of things, if you look historically, how the whole watching at home and watching in the theater experience has changed. In the 80s, when television came, everybody thought that's the end of cinema. Nobody's going to go to the theaters, and people started watching. Everybody thought, okay, VHS kiraye pe bhi milta tha us samay, so people were watching at home. Then again, in the 90s, that changed. The multiplexes came. So in a way, you know, it's an interesting intersection. We don't know, but I guess they'll always remain two separate entities. One is the experience of watching a film at home, and the other, of course, watching a film in a theater. And you know, they might be right now, because the theaters are closed, there has been kind of like a crossover. But in the long run, I feel those entities will always remain separate.
I'm gonna add what Anupama had said, right? A lot of times when you're reviewing Telugu films or Tamil films, majority of the comments would be like, who has the patience to read 1,000 words or 2,000 words of what you read, of what you write? Just tell us if it's worth our time or not. No, I mean, the rating becomes the most important part of the review. This is purely from a Telugu film criticism point of view. So I'm really grateful that that's not the case anymore. I mean, nobody asks you whether this is worth my time or not. So in a way, our role has changed to what Rohit and Anupama rightly said. Like, it become more of curating content. Like, it can help people discover stuff which they might not have seen. Like, probably we would have seen some 10-15 years ago, and suddenly we find that on a streaming platform, and we would recommend them, you know. And I think that's one of the biggest changes that I've witnessed in the last few months. You know, people keep asking me, recommend us stuff to watch, and I think that's what makes our job also relevant. We keep ourselves updated. We keep discovering new films, web series from all over the globe. It's really interesting because you don't have to watch a new film which might be bad. You know, I mean, that's not an option anymore, which was the case earlier also.
Yeah, Rohit?
I'm pretty hopeful about this time because see, from 5 or 6 odd OTT platforms in 2012, so now there are 40 odd platforms, and there are like millions of films and shows, and like whatever you watch, like you keep binge watching things and they will never finish. So so what happens that this is also a time of synergy between a critic and the viewers, which means, so if you are particularly interested in one genre, so suppose you are interested in thriller, So you will only go for thrillers after one thriller, like one after another. So that way, you will look for critics or the writers who are constantly writing on that particular genre on the liking on the streaming apps that you like. Which means that the critics need to be more informed from before. Like earlier, you had a, limited bouquet of films, but now there is this immense sea. Like whatever you watch, this will never be enough. So here you also need to keep a track on like what my audience wants. Like you need to streamline the thought process. You need to streamline the synergy between the viewer, the people who are fans of your writing or your videos, and the kind of content they want to watch. In the same time, while doing it, you also need to train them or lead them rather for the kind of content you want them to see. So it is kind of becoming difficult than before, because now you need to be more informed about everything that they watch or they can watch. Also, if somebody is liking, say, Malayalam thrillers on Amazon Prime, but I am liking Telugu thrillers on Netflix, because all these streaming apps have different kind of curation. So you also need to understand the kind of their texture, the thought process, the idea behind those curations, and then you need to modify your recommendation according to that. Because suppose somebody is into regional content, because I think more than mainstream apps, it's going to be the time for regional language apps. So and then you need to remain relevant. You also need to know about them also. So I think critics are in this for a big trouble. They need to watch a lot more.
I think till now what we've established is we thought that whether the role of a critic is, are we still relevant and what will happen? But it turns out we have a lot of work, and I know that I had subscription of some 2 OTT platforms, and I think after the lockdown every possible I'm on every possible
I have 8
streaming platform and watching whatever whatever
and
I can.
All your good intentions, I've got movie, I'm going to watch this, I'm going to watch this. Hota hi nahi hai.
It's not possible.
It's
So those who are doing videos should make their videos or their write-ups very interactive, so that you could get recommendations from like-minded viewers also. You won't be able to watch everything alone.
इधर का माल उधर पास करो.
Good suggestion, Rohit.
we will इस direction में जो हम जा रहे हैं वो तो हम continue करेंगे, but I just want to know, because since we're talking about how we're trying to take in these films have changed. और अजय जी ने बोला कि पहले कुछ मिस होता था तो मिस हो जाता था. Now you're watching it at home, you're watching it on laptop. How many times do you press the pause button while watching a film? Do you do that? Like, is there some hygiene that you maintain, that you're going to sit and finish it at one go? Or the fact that you can't, you're fidgety, also tells you that the film isn't as good. So how is it? Do you replay or?
It's really hard, Stuti. I mean, working from home is not for everybody, and I'm sure anybody who's been working from home for the past 4 months will say that. When your mom calls you to help her in the kitchen, you leave everything behind to go there. There is no excuse, there is no escape from that. So that's how it is. And pause button.
You would have paused a Gulabo Sitabo and gone and done what you had. Is that how it is? Okay.
Well, as they say, what happens on the laptop stays on the laptop, in the sense कहाँ pause दबाया, कहाँ नहीं दबाया, वो सबके सामने बताना थोड़ा दिक्कत वाला है. But it's a completely different experience watching at home. Suddenly my dogs start barking. There's some construction work going on, and that kind of adds to that. We've seen some really terrible movies in the theater. At the most you can do there is look at your phone, and ये check करो, वो check करो, and look at your watch 5 times कि यार अभी कब खत्म होगा, and when can we go? But we still used to sit and watch it, no matter how bad, how terrible the film is. Watching it at home, you easily have a choice. You press the pause button, or you say, boss, this is not happening, and I don't want to spend any more time on this, and I may not even write about it because I don't feel, it's not giving me any kind of a kick watching this. So it's like a completely different thing, watching it at home, and of course there are 110 distractions. So that's why personally, at least, watching at home, no matter how great a series to take care, there's no option, but how great a film is, there is no alternative to watching it in the theater. So hopefully everything will be back to normal.
That of course we're all hoping. Anupama, how many times do you stop it?
So I try, Stuti, to maintain the kind of the purity of the watching because again, I just feel like it's not right to walk away, and that will taint my experience of a film in some way if I pause it, right? So I tell everybody, ki, please don't bother me, just give me these 2 hours. Luckily now films are shorter, मतलब 3 घंटे होते तो हम मर जाते, but 2 घंटे की हो गई हैं mostly now. So I try, and of course the phone I wouldn't look at even in the theater, because I think that really shifts your brain to some other space, I try and do all that and not pause while I'm watching, because I think that again, and then I'll go back, like, with Bulbul, I wanted to recheck something that was said, or a particular shot that was taken, where exactly she got hit by the bullet. So I will go back and check, but that first viewing, I wanted to be as close to theatrical as possible.
Yeah.
So,
मेरा अपना रोहित, मेरा अपने एक्सपीरियंस है कि पॉज तो होते हैं और कुछ एक ब्रॉडबैंड की भी कई बार कृपा होती है,
करेक्ट,
जबरदस्ती आपसे पॉज करवा देता है। एक चीज और करता हूँ मैं कि फिल्म देखते हुए उसका टाइम जैसे देख लिया मैंने कि 2 घंटे है, 2.5 घंटे है, तो मैं खुद से एक इंटरवल करता हूँ उसका। हाँ, 1-1.25 घंटे के बाद जैसे ही कहीं लगता है कि हाँ यहाँ पे
That's clever. ये बहुत स्मार्ट, ओह वाओ, दैट्स अ ग्रेट आइडिया। खुद का इंटरवल आप कर लो,
खुद का इंटरवल तय करो, और ये बल्कि लिखने का टॉपिक भी हो सकता है कि खुद का इंटरवल आप कैसे तय करते हैं।
Correct.
But
I want to try
that sometimes, because I need to take a break. So after, I know how long that film is. So after 1 hour, I'll pause and I'll go and probably have a sip.
The problem is most of the films, there'll always be some dull moment where automatically an interval will come in.
That happens. Rohit, you wanted to come in.
Yeah. So what Ajay just said. So I'm just adding to it that if your internet is not free flowing, so that again, a critic's voice, a critic's opinion becomes very relevant at that point of time, because if a critic has a very high opinion of a particular film, then probably you would probably go back to that film when internet resumes. But if there is no critic, then you won't bother to go back to that film, even if it is like one of the finest film ever made. So just like and apart from that, like see what kind of screens do we have? We have smartphones, we have laptops, we have iPads, we have smart TVs, right? So even if you have like 50-60 inch TV, so but you don't have Dolby surround, so that may again impact that may hinder you, that may stop you from picking the nuances of sound. So if it is, say, a documentary like Fire Festival or The Last Dance or Farmageddon, but so you can still watch them while pausing them in between and coming back to them, because they have a different kind of narrative. But say if it's a film like I Lost My Body, which is 3D animation, will the smaller screen be able to justify the kind of hard work that has been put into that? So that is my prime problem with OTTs. So it is restricting filmmakers to make a certain kind of films, and mostly going for like say what do you call it, mid shots and close shots, so that you don't need to go into the details of broader frames. So that is one thing. So filmmakers, to make a film, though Peaky Blinder is a show, but the on the scale that it has been shot, so to replicate that into a film for a smaller screen, I think filmmakers would find it very, very difficult. And if they are finding it difficult, it is certainly going to be more difficult for the critics to analyze it.
I think, as I was watching Gulabo Sitabo, my fear was, because there's so much choice on a streaming platform, and you have a film like that जो इतनी measured pacing है, you know, for the first hour the beats are moving in such a slow manner. I was like, yeah, people are just going to say कि नहीं मेरे को क्यों देखनी है. In within like 2.5 seconds you can switch to the next thing.
Exactly.
And I was, you know, I was like worrying for the movie because
I know exactly what you mean, because
it's not just that. So suppose I am bored of Gulabo Sitabo, because all these streaming apps are AI driven. So the streaming apps are not going to show me any films remotely similar to Gulabo Sitabo anymore if I am leaving this film in between.
Correct.
So which means even if I have made a film like Gulabo Sitabo and my other films are like far better in aesthetical sense and all that, the streaming apps are not going to recommend those to me. So for there again, you need somebody who could recommend better films to you. Yeah. So
I'm gonna add a bit to what Rohit just said, right? So okay, in a theatrical format, everything is standardized. Like the theater or the exhibitor takes care of the sound, the picture quality. All you have to do is just buy a ticket and go watch a film. But right now, because it's the same content which we're gonna see on OTT platforms, but as a viewer, the responsibility becomes ours to upgrade to the best infrastructure that we can offer, and that's a huge challenge, you know. So the same film would mean different to different people based on how they watch it. Are you watching on your mobile phone? Are you watching on your laptop or a big projector? You know, so the moment that infrastructure changes, your perception of that film or web series changes completely. And that's something which people have to also understand, why certain films don't have the same effect when they watch on a mobile phone or a laptop compared to how it was in a cinema hall.
And it's vice versa also, because if there is a show like say Black Mirror that special interactive episode Bandersnatch. So if there is something like Bandersnatch, you won't be able to enjoy it on the bigger screen. So it is meant for the smaller screen where you can constantly keep touching the screen for the kind of ending you want. So so now the filmmakers also need to be very experimentative in their approach, like how they can make it more interactive, and that way critics need to follow their leads.
That's actually very well put. So we're all spoiled for choice, and that's both a bane and a boon. Yes, Sachin, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, the way we are watching films now, I was wondering how it would be to watch a Luis Buñuel film now. I mean, we would watch it now because we know he's Luis Buñuel, or would give it that much respect and watch it. But if a present day Luis Buñuel were to come and make a film on surrealism with surrealist elements in it, would we give it the same kind of attention at home? कि नहीं तो ना थोड़ी देर टीवी पे देख के अरे क्या कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, or you know, this is kind of a little vague or weird, and stop it at that? I don't know. I mean, would have Buñuel on OTT? That's a big question.
Yeah.
So this is just like that. Do movies run theaters, or do theaters run movies?
Theaters run movies, exactly.
Okay, I think we're totally immersed in this discussion, but I must acknowledge all those who are joining us, and I have a list of questions that have been sent by them. So I'm going to take a few. I have one from Sankalp Bharadwaj, who says, in terms of depth and understanding, don't you think the OTT platform brings the story and characters close to the audience?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
Right. So earlier in the discussion, there was a topic of how OTTs prefer a mid-range and a close-up shot compared to a wide-angle, broad perspective of a feature film. Right now, automatically, the moment the way the framing changes, that means that the film or the web series become more intimate, more personal, you know. And that's how I think OTTs even prefer that way. I remember a story or a conversation which happened on a set of a very big Telugu TV web series production, where the OTTs were very specific about not to go for wide shots, because it doesn't make sense when you see that on a mobile phone or your laptop, you know? So I'm sorry, I lost track of the question.
That happens, don't worry. So, you know,
क्योंकि
No, but
मुझे
just to
इसमें एक
carry on
बात लग
from
रही है,
what
जो संकल्प का सवाल है,
you know.
संकल्प के सवाल से मेरी
जी,
बात समझ
अजय
में
जी।
आई कि हाँ, लिखते समय भी मैं ये महसूस कर रहा हूँ कि अब हम लोग कहीं कहीं बुक रिव्यू जैसी चीजों में जा रहे हैं, जहाँ स्टोरी लाइन कंटेंट पर ज्यादा डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि उसके फिल्म के जो बेसिक सिनेमेटिक एस्पेक्ट होते हैं उसकी चर्चा थोड़ी कम हो रही है। हमारी राइटिंग में भी, आप लोगों के भी बोलने में भी आप देखेंगे। और ये भी फीडबैक मिला है कि ऑडियंस जानना चाहता है कि स्टोरी लाइन है क्या। पहले हम लोग स्टोरी लाइन का डिस्कशन नहीं करते थे, नहीं चाहते थे कि कोई स्टोरी ऐसे निकले, हालांकि आज भी बचा के चल सकते हैं वो। और अभी जो फिल्म आई उसके बारे में भी हम यही कह सकते हैं कि ऐसे जैसे चौकड़ी थी या कोई और फिल्म थी, हम उसकी कहानी पहले से नहीं बता सकते। तो ये खतरा, ये एक नए तरीके का चैलेंज है। और राइटिंग स्टाइल में, प्रेजेंटेशन स्टाइल में मुझे थोड़ा सा बुक रिव्यू के करीब जाते, जो गलत नहीं है। हम लोग फिल्म रिव्यू में भी बुक रिव्यू से ही आए थे एक तरीके से, बहुत सारी चीजें हमने वहां से इम्बाइब कर ली थी और उसको इम्प्रूव किया फिर सिनेमा के हिसाब से। तो ये फिर से कहीं हम उस हिसाब से नहीं जा रहे हैं, ये मेरी एक राय है।
Anyone who wants to add to this?
I was just going to add to what Hemant was saying, you know,
Haan.
about wide angle and the way shots are being taken. There are two filmmakers that resorted to OTT at some point. One was Jong Won-ho when he made Okja, and of course Roma was another classic example. But if you watch both the films, they made it like they were meant for a theater, especially Roma, you know, the way it was shot and all that.
Yeah.
So I guess even different filmmakers would take a different approach. But the question is, I think, you know, whether a filmmaker would change his approach because he's making a film for OTT, that's an interesting one. But two well-known filmmakers didn't really do that with the films that they made.
Okay, and now I have one question from Nidhi Bhatia, and let's see who wants to take this. Do you think there will be a change in the kind of content being churned out once production restarts, considering OTTs will remain a higher preference for the coming months? Does OTT content actually differ from content viewed in theaters, or is it just a difference in the experience and thrill, especially in India?
I think content will be very different. I mean, for one, there are the practical considerations. It's going to be very difficult now to do a massive, big budget, film that requires sort of an action sequence where you have 50, junior artists behind or dancers behind. There is the, I know that television shoots have restarted in Mumbai, and they've got 20 people on set, they've got 30 people on set. I know ads have begun with 6 people. The director is on Zoom. Yeah. And the only people are the camera people and the actors. So the practical conditions of shooting are now going to shape your content. So I think for a couple of years, it's all going to be intimate, mid-budget, smaller dramas, which I wonder if women will have an advantage there, because that's what we've been doing for a long time. Anyway. But I just think that those bigger scale, and there's no money in the market. I mean, Bollywood is, the Indian film industry has taken about a 10,000 crore hit. Yeah. So this whole idea of you'll have these massive movies in the theater, which was the traditional differentiator between streaming and theatrical, that you had the event movies. I mean, Ted Sarandos, who heads Netflix, said he went to a theater to watch Endgame, right? Avengers Endgame. But I don't know that those films are going to be possible for a while. So
but I think we need those to get the audience back to the theaters, to lure them back.
Which is why the ones that were ready pre-pandemic, Suryavanshi, 83, those kind of, the big mega budget ones, will hopefully draw people back into the theater. But the ones that will be shot now, I think are going to be more streaming in terms of look and feel than they were before.
So one very good thing about directors directing ad films or films via Zoom is that they can't blame us for not being very sympathetic towards their films.
You can say they phoned it in, right?
They phoned it in. Why? How can they expect us to be very, finding the film very lovable?
I'm gonna add up to what Anupama said a little while ago. So in South India, we have an additional problem here. So traditionally, we have been
Shoots have
subcon-
started there as well, Hemant?
uh, some of them have, like TV serials have started, and films they're scheduling and seeing how to go about it. So anyway, as a viewer, subconsciously you've trained yourself to watching films in a certain way. Like there's a lot of hero worship. This part of the film
Yeah,
watching culture here,
Yeah.
and everything seems larger than life. And big action dramas are something that you celebrate, not just watch in a cinema hall.
Like a
Now,
Raju film and everything that
yeah, I mean,
goes
all
around.
the whistling, hooting, it's a community experience, right? So obviously you can't replicate any of that on a OTT. So even in future, let's say a big director wants to make a film for the OTT audience, I think the way they make the film will also change, because they're not going for a theatrical experience, right? Which is why the stories will hopefully be more intimate and personal. That's what I feel.
Okay. I'm going to move on to another question. Okay. This one's my favorite. Let's see. Mohit K. Bagria is asking, my question is, do you think people like to read reviews when they can watch everything on their private device? Again, back to...
Does anyone care about you guys? But I think we've answered that in a sense.
You know,
We
also if Mohit wants like a similar answer, I can say that like they need to read us. They need to look at what critics are saying, because they are also preparing them for better films. No.
Correct.
True. Okay, Riaz Rangwala is asking, for film festivals like Mami, the most engaging part is the Q&A that enables critics to dive deeper into the production of the film. How do you deal with that at home? Not being able to clarify your doubts, how does that work?
But because I mean, that's at Mami, that's at a film festival. But in life, we never got Q&As after screening.
Yeah.
So it's not that a director would come up after a screening and we would do a.
And now we had a film festival also that was streamed via one. So I think everyone is trying to adapt to this new normal.
Also, I think if a director starts coming out and starts doing Q&A, question and answer session after every film, probably the viewers will stop going to cinema hall.
Okay. Anas is asking, can OTT platforms ever come close to serving the massy audience? Again, what we were talking about. Hemant?
I think the whole definition of what massy is going to change, right? A mass film is something which you watch in a group. I mean, obviously, it's the same content when you watch it on your small phones or laptops, but it has to be a community experience, and a theater is best suited for that. Now, it's just not the same when you watch it on your on an OTT. I mean, no matter what people say, it's just not the same. You need to hear people whistling, screaming, yelling. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
No, but yes, Rohit.
So no, I disagree with Hemant there, because see, if there are shows like say Mirzapur or Sacred Games, you think they are not massy? But everybody has seen those shows on their individual laptops. There are no communal. There is no community experience involved, but they are as massy as a Salman Khan.
They are, but I think what he is saying is the whole adventure of going out and
Story
watching
of it.
film and,
Yeah.
that's
I think since the beginning of OTT, once these shows started making a mark on the audience, I think cinema halls were anyway in trouble, and with this pandemic, OTT has simply taken over without any protest. So this was anyway going to happen. Even if cinema halls come back to prominence, it has to be a thing of coexistence rather than cinema halls being given an upper hand over OTT.
Okay, now this is a question and I wanted to touch upon this. Sanchit Sachdev is asking, how does one analyze the success of a series? Unlike we have a parameter like a box office collection for movies releasing in cinemas. Do we have flops now? Is there, is the concept of a hit and flop film, does it still exist?
नहीं, वो जो वेब सीरीज के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं, सिर्फ वेब सीरीज नहीं, अब तो फिल्मों की भी हिट या फ्लॉप होने का हमें पता नहीं चलेगा, कलेक्शन क्या हुआ उस तरीके से।
नहीं,
और ये एक बहुत बड़ा सिरदर्द रिव्यूअर्स के दिमाग से या उसके दिमाग से उतर गया है।
उतर
अब
गया है।
उसे यही नहीं बताना पड़ेगा फिल्म देख के निकलने के बाद कि फिल्म चलेगी कि नहीं चलेगी, फिल्म ऑलरेडी चल रही है।
ऑल्सो जब हमें ट्रोल किया जाता है तो ये नहीं बोला जाएगा इतनी हिट फिल्म को तुम
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
इसका
तो ये और इससे एक खतरा और बढ़ गया है, जिसकी बात भी हो रही है कि स्टार सिस्टम टूटेगा।
हाँ।
और जो बॉक्स ऑफिस कलेक्शन के आधार पर स्टार बनते हैं उनका स्टेटस भी नीचे आएगा। तो हो सकता है एक इक्वलिटी वहां पे आए, और एक कलाकारों के साथ जैसे जितेंद्र कुमार को भी लोग उतना ही देखेंगे जितना अक्षय कुमार को देखेंगे। हो सकता है।
नहीं, बिल्कुल ऐसा ही होगा, लेकिन इसका एक एक तरीका और भी है इसको जज करने का। Like I'm just taking example of one film that recently released, Mrs. Serial Killer.
Yeah.
It might be trending on #1 at Netflix, but it's a bad film. And the best thing to judge about it is the popular culture. You will see like millions of memes made over it.
Around it,
So
people trolling. Yeah.
Yes, so social media is also an indicator of a hit or flop on OTTs.
No, that's true. That of course, but commercially, have we figured out if a film is a hit or a flop now when it releases on OTT?
You can't, Stuti, you can't, because OTT platforms will not share any information with you. You can only perhaps use the surround sound to gauge, how much impact it's had on popular culture, how much are people talking about it on social media platforms, or maybe what the rating on an IMDb is. But there's no sort of clear indication that and you will know like a Patal Lok is a massive hit.
Yeah.
Yes.
You will know, of course. I mean, you will always know what's good and what's not good. Yeah. Okay.
Also, I think, it was only about a couple of years back that Netflix started giving some numbers, that too because it's a public listed company in the US, as to, which film. They didn't give specific numbers, but they gave kind of ballpark figures of who's watching how much. And if I'm not mistaken, if somebody watches a web series for like 5 minutes or 10 also, it is considered that they have seen the whole series. You don't have to watch episodes of the season. If you watch 10 minutes of one episode of a season in the whole season.
If that is the parameter, then probably I have seen hundreds of shows in like last 3 days.
अरे आप तो वैसे भी
Sunil Kataria is asking, in terms of content, how life of a common viewer will change.
I think we'll get a lot of content, to watch. As far as content is concerned, it's kind of, we know that the amount of content that's coming up, the kind of actors that are coming up, relatively unheard before, or, new stories that are being told. So in terms of content, it's like a El Dorado, which is, opening up.
Okay. Mohit is asking, don't you guys think that one good thing about OTT is now we have actors instead of stars?
Yeah.
It's about time.
Absolutely. I think for me it was wonderful to see somebody like Jaideep Ahlawat, who's been since for so
many years,
finally get a role that is matching his talent. So I think for actors it's just been incredible. There's such fine performances that we see in OTT and such a variety. It's
an idea of a level playing field, because I was having this conversation with Devashish Makhija, and he actually said, I'm happy that it's on an OTT because, theaters don't care about my films. The films that I make, they are going to treat me like a second-class citizen. I'll be giving probably 2 shows, but here I will reach the audience that I want to, and they will be able to appreciate the kind of films that I am making. Aishwarya is asking, will award shows now rate both OTTs and cinema released films on the same platform, since many have released on OTT shows? What will happen to film awards now?
Can we plug in the Film Critics Guild here? We already did this. We are ahead of every other award show because
we have been doing it since 2 years.
Yeah, put it on the same playing field that a film is a film is a film. It's not about where you see it. What will happen to award shows is $1 million question.
I think they will go for virtual award shows if they get sponsors.
This will be the
I mean,
shortest Oscars, right?
that's also evolving, right? I mean, the Oscars have already been postponed to April now instead of the usual February.
Yeah.
So award shows, the timing, the logistics, and even the content. So that's all going to be tricky. I remember Okja was not a part of the Cannes competition live because it didn't release in the theater at that time. They couldn't find 1 week to release in the theater. So I guess all those dynamics will also change now.
Okay, Nav is asking, I'd like to know what is the panelist's personal comfort choice to watch movies, OTT platforms, or the classic theaters?
Theater.
Theater, of course.
Theater, hands
Of
down.
course, theater.
Theater.
Yeah.
There is no
Theater,
one-
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Carlos is asking, what do you like to watch and review, web series or movies? Web series is a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
No, it's a very interesting question because if a web series is like if we are only talking about Hindi web series or like Indian web series right now. So if it's something like Penguin or say The Family Man or Sacred Games, probably we would like to do it over in a boring film. But if it is like about time and all that, so I think critics would prefer going for a 90-minute film than like 8 episodes of 45 minutes each.
Yeah, for me, it's the movies for sure.
या मैं भी फिल्म वेब सीरीज देखने के बाद मैंने यही अनुपमा की तरह तय किया कि नहीं, वेब सीरीज मुझे देखना ही नहीं है,
मेरे पास
चाहे
बहुत टाइम
जितना
है.
भी अच्छा हो नहीं देखना है, चाहे जितनी चर्चा
You know, there is very little one can absorb from a there is very little one can absorb from a web series. Shots, we remember dialogues. You know, I mean, that has become famous. Does anyone remember too many things from a web series? I mean, we know the actors, they become famous, but any shot or any dialogue or any particular scene that, you know, that has stayed in a memory, I can't remember anything from a web series. Not that I've seen those many, but films, bolo, there are so many, whether it's an English film or a Japanese film or a Hindi film or a Bollywood film, you know, whatever it is, we remember so much from a film.
So I think I've tried to take as many questions as I could. Guys, any more questions? I think you need to quickly send me. I'll take one that I still have. With big budget films like Artemis Fowl on OTT platforms, will it affect the release of big budget films in theaters?
Well, I hope not. I mean, if it's a big budget film, it has to be seen in a theater. So in the long run, I mean, I hope that will not change much. Of course, in the current scenario, anything is possible, anything can happen. But in the long run, hopefully not. I mean, if a film is made to be, you know,
No. I don't want to watch a big budget Roop Kirani Chono Ka Raja in theaters even. So I don't want to do that. It is totally dependent on the quality.
वो देखने के बाद पता चलेगा कि
वो देखने से पहले कैसे मालूम होगा कि रूप की रानी है वो?
Exactly.
इसीलिए तो critics की जरूरत है.
रूप की रानी चोरों का राजा घर में बैठ के ज्यादा बंदा isn't person more forgiving in that sense?
नहीं कहीं भी नहीं देखना है.
Not at all. You can't forgive it any which way. I mean, whether at home or watching it.
So this was a good discussion. Anybody who wants to, add something that we haven't touched upon?
You know, I would just tell all the people who've joined in and maybe people who'll see it later on our YouTube channel that use this time to really discover films from languages that you would never watch otherwise. You know, life was dictated by that Friday ki itni badi picture aa rahi hai, Friday ko kaun si release hai, and we are now we are not in that situation anymore, and we won't be, I think, for the foreseeable future. So my recommendation to everybody would be like, just hit on Amazon, Netflix, whatever your preferred this thing is, go to a language where you've never seen those movies and just hit play and experience a different filmmaking culture, because I it's what I've done, and I'm ashamed to say I've done it so late.
Exactly.
But it's been so eye-opening. There's such great movies happening outside of Mumbai that I feel everyone should discover them.
Absolutely. There's so many that I discovered, and even I was like, it took a lockdown for me to realize that I should have been watching all these other absolutely brilliant films. It does, we're spoiled for choice, but I think if we're smart enough, if we curate our content intelligently, I think we're all in a win-win situation. And of course, we love our film halls and our extra salted popcorns and those oily samosas, and we would want to go back to
those samosas. Yes.
Guys, thank you everyone who joined in. You've asked some very interesting questions, and of course to my panelists Ajay ji, Rohit, Hemant, Anupama, Sachin. Thank you. This was a great chat,
Thank you.
and I'm glad we could meet each other like this.
Thank you, Stuti. You did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone.